Okay. Today we have Dash from Chicago. We have been connected since I think 3 years, but I've started using Twitter only 1 year ago. So it's a bit strange. And yeah, we'll talk about IoT, brain interfaces. I hope that she will show something to us in this video because I'm really interested into that. But first of all, how are you, Dash?
I'm good. Thanks for having me here. Like you said, I've known you for a long time on Twitter, and I remember when you just got on, and I could tell from the beginning that people would be very attracted to your account. And I don't know, I think maybe you had like 500 followers or something when I first followed you, and I knew your account would blow up because
Yeah.
you're just nonstop positivity, people like that, especially in the dev world, like it's very attracting.
Yeah, thank you. And basically, yeah, if before we haven't interacted, it's basically my fault because I was not on Twitter. So yeah, but yeah, so basically I've used it a lot. Okay, let's admit it that I used Twitter a lot during lockdown. So I got a bit of followers, but that's it. Yeah. So I'd like you to introduce a little bit yourself, tell us your story, because I think it's a little bit different that the standard developer or the standard web developer. Let's say this because I've seen some strange pictures. And before going ahead, please go and follow her on Twitter. We'll post the link in the description because yeah, she's not a standard developer.
Yeah. Well, I started really like got serious about learning to code when I was living in a van. Like 2016, I moved into a van. At some point, I think in February, in 2017, the van broke down at a Barnes and Noble, and I was really interested in coding, and I bought a coding book. And so I learned, and I eventually, I was learning at my own pace, whatever, in 2019, sorry. Okay. 2019, I did 100 days of code, and then it turned into 365 days of code. And then I was just like hooked. Now I code every day, and that's how I taught myself. And the reason I got interested in it originally is because in college, I got involved with Lucid Dreaming. And Lucid Dreaming is when you are, let's say, like you're dreaming, you're asleep, you're dreaming, and you're in school. Okay, let's say you're like 35 or what. I'm 29. Okay, let's say I'm in school. It's my dream. And I'm like, wait a minute, I graduated school years ago. This can't be real. So this must be a dream. So now I know I'm dreaming and I'm in the dream. And because of that, I could do whatever I want. I can control where I am. I can change the scene. I can do whatever I want. So lucid dreaming is something you can learn to do. And I found out about it in college because I went on a diet and I wanted to be able to eat whatever I wanted. I wanted to eat junk food in the dream. So I learned how to lucid dream, and then I was eating junk food all night. And I got really into it outside of just the eating junk food part. And I wanted to be able to make, like, there were so many ideas I had for, like, how can I interact with these lucid dreams in a tactile way. And the only way to do that is with technology and coding and all sorts of different hardware. And one of my main goals right now is to communicate from a lucid dream to a computer, or specifically, I want to tweet something from a lucid dream while I'm dreaming. And that's been kind of a goal for a while. And I've kind of achieved it in different ways. But I'm working on that project right now.
No, this is really super interesting because now that now I think that I just shut up and just I let you to speak for half an hour because I'm into that. I don't know if you can explain to me because I'm just I've been just in the software development. Let's say I like maybe a little bit done just in something with maybe a Raspberry, but I'm not called that exactly an IoT device. Yeah. So you're talking about real devices that we can interact with a machine basically.
Yeah. Yeah. So I have the device I'm working on here, and I can show you guys.
Please.
So, okay. So how this works is, let me get this. Oh, it's all tangled. But
and this is for real, because I've seen some tweets, but I think in a video I think it's different. Yeah. So I see some strange tweets, maybe in your face with some patches, maybe. I've seen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is that device.
No,
Well, so
I don't know what you can show us now, but
it's all
maybe maybe we need another a dedicated video. I think I want to do something dedicated to this, but
yeah, I mean, there's a lot of stuff like,
yeah, and I have so many questions now. So yeah, I want to ask you a lot of things, because this is getting interesting. I think I'll watch again this after I record this.
I think I got it untangled here.
Yeah.
All right, here.
Show us something, because
okay.
Yeah, because we are so used to just IDE and just code, and that's totally fine, but this is something different.
Yeah, when I started to learn, I was learning just web development. But I always knew that this was something I wanted to work on. And when I switched gears and started working more seriously on this project, it's really not that hard to switch and start doing hardware. There's definitely stuff you have to learn, a little bit of electrical engineering stuff, but you don't have to get too far into that to make something, because there are just so many really great hardware kits that if you know how to code, you can pick up some Arduino code or whatever. It's not so hard once you know other code. But
do you know that Arduino is an Italian project? I'm from Italy.
Oh yeah, it is. Doesn't it mean friend or something? Little friend, or what does Arduino mean?
I think that Arduino is just a name.
Okay. I thought it meant something.
No.
Okay,
it's not. I should check this, but so.
Yeah. So here's.
I have one Arduino. I forgot to take
Do you play with it?
Yeah, I played sometimes. I also did a lesson in the university about that, because our professor let us to make a presentation. So I did a presentation. I was not that expert. I've done something with just, I think, just a temperature check, something really basic. So yeah. So that is what I did. But yes.
So this is okay. So here's the Arduino with the it's called a shield. Basically, it's an attachment that just adds something onto the Arduino. So Arduino is just like a microcontroller, like a little tiny computer, and then you add on this shield. What this shield does is this is a biosensing shield, and it connects this wire. And now I don't have these on, but these would clip onto electrodes, which would be on my face. So this shield allows the Arduino to read different biosignals from my head or from my body anywhere. And what I use them for is reading eye movements, but you can also use them for, and I have used them for, reading brain waves. So then what this does, so I've programmed it to sense my eye movements. And that's because when you're dreaming, your eyes are moving, and in other states of sleeping, your eyes are not moving, or they're moving very slowly. So this senses the eye movement in order to recognize this person is dreaming. Let me try to get them lucid. Now I can get lucid on my own too, but this is to try to get it a little leg up on my lucidity. So what that does then, once it knows I'm dreaming, here's the next part. It's a little messed up, but there's this backboard I built. I won't hold it up though. It's just a piece of cardboard.
This is really interesting.
So this is a strip of red LEDs. Actually, it's 3 colors, but I only use the red. And it connects to this headboard thing that I made, and this goes behind my bed. And so basically I'm sleeping with lights behind my bed, my head hooked up to the machine, right? And then when the machine is like, oh, this person their eyes are moving, they're dreaming, the lights flash. And you can see light when you're dreaming. It will come through your eyelids and you'll pick it up. It doesn't always happen. If certain times when your brain activity is very high, it might not come through. but there are other times when you'll see the light. And so you train yourself that when you see a flashing light, that's the sign from the headboard that you're in a dream. So now you can become lucid. You can realize that you're dreaming. So that's the induction part. So that's the first part of this is lucid dreaming induction, giving you lucid dreams. The second part of this device is communication. So the next part of this also uses my eye movements, but instead of detecting when I'm dreaming, it's going to detect Morse code from my eyes. So I'm going to send messages like, hi, I'm dreaming right now that I'm on an island and it's super nice, whatever. And then the machine picks it up and translates the Morse code and sends it out to wherever I want. So you might have seen the video maybe where I sent eye movements to my mom.
Yeah.
That was while I was awake.
To your mom. I remember that.
Yeah. So I texted her with my eye movements, and the same kind of thing can happen, but when you're dreaming. So I was awake, obviously, in that video, but you can move your eyes when you're dreaming, and if you're aware, you can, Morse code whatever you want. And I would like to live tweet it, so it would be a little different back end than sending to a text, but it's like kind of the same idea. So yeah, that is the project. There's still some things I need to fix though on it.
Yeah, I think that you are ahead of most of us, because I think that in the future, like in 5 years, I don't know, 10 years, I think this could be really a thing. So maybe, I don't know if you get some people that think that maybe you are a bit strange, but I don't know. But for me, it's really amazing. This kind of, let's call it experiments. So experiments on physical devices. I think that it's rare that you get bored by doing these kind of things, because I don't know, it seems so interesting. So basically, you're using input and output with this kind of stuff, and you are trying to achieve some goals. So we are getting a tweet for as an example, but it can be applied to a lot of things. I don't know. The applications could be many. What do you think that could be the other application other than tweet something? Because I think there are so many.
Well, yeah. So a lot of people bring up things like, could you use it for like coma patients, or could you use it for people who are paralyzed? And I don't know about coma patients. I really don't know if they can become lucid, especially without like training beforehand. Enough to like send messages. Maybe actually if they can hear. I don't know how coma patients work, but definitely paralyzed people could use it. But as far as specifically dream uses, like I think it could be used for therapy. I think it could be used for with a patient while they're in a dream, and in some therapeutic, like method or something where you can, present some question to your patient, and the patient can interact with you, and it maybe would give a little bit of a different experience than waking life. Maybe there's some inhibitions that are dropped, or like more access to subconscious that could help the therapist and the patient. And I think also for dream research, of course, this is a big thing, and it's not like completely new. There are people who there are studies and researchers who've used communication from a dream. It's not usually Morse code. It's usually like simple eye movements, yes or no. I've been in some studies where we communicated using eye movements, but it was like just like left and right means I'm lucid and yes, and then we had up and down is no. And then I've also been a participant in a study where I communicated with breath. You could control your breath, and in a dream, and they had like a nasal canella sensing my breath. So communication in a lucid dream has been done before. I just thought, let's connect it to Morse code and let's make it more of an interface where like it's an open source thing that other people can make and connect to whatever APIs and do really cool things with. So it's not like completely a new idea, but I do want it to be open source, and I want people to like experiment with this and, you know, like be the pioneers of the dream world and figure out what's going on and learn about lucid dreaming.
Yeah, but okay, so but please, if you have, but so I don't know if you have already created something, or you're talking about something that will happen in the future. So,
Yeah.
Do you have? There is still something.
So this is not finished, but it's not totally finished. It does all the things I've said, but I haven't been able to test it because there's I had been using it from my computer, from powering it by my computer, but that's not enough to power the LEDs. That's only enough to power the, you know, the part that you saw in the video if you watched it, when I'm texting my mom. There was no LEDs. LEDs need a lot more power. So I added the wall, like the wall plug, so that the lights can be powered. But what happens then is that there's all this electrical signal that interferes with everything, because I guess the wall power is like noisy or very, I don't know, powerful. I don't really totally know how all that stuff works, but I could just see that it's like, if you look at these graphs of like where you're detecting your eye movement, you can kind of graph out the voltage to see like how your eyes are moving. It's now all fuzzy. It's because there's like all this like zigzags all over from the power line. So the next part I have to do is filter that. And I have put that on hold because I'm also working on a startup, and that's the next part. So it's like it kind of exists. It's just like I haven't used it, and I haven't. I kind of made it open source. Like if you really want to make it, I think I put everything out, but I haven't like promoted it or anything. But yeah, so it's
here I am.
Yeah, but it does exist in that people have made similar things before, if that makes sense. Okay.
Yeah. I think that this project is really interesting because yes, and also as you explain this, it seems that you are doing this really passionately, because it's something that I don't think that one person can do this without passion. It's something that maybe you wanted really to do. So this is really great. So I don't know if you want to really create, I don't know, some sites. Have you created some repository about that? Somewhere where we can understand more about this, or maybe in the future, maybe you are about to do this.
Yeah, I think I posted a little bit on my GitHub and my website. I posted the tutorial for how to, or it's like sort of a tutorial. It links you to like the information that I got on how to make the eye texting device, which is most of which at least it's the communication part of this project, not the dream induction. But I'll add that too in the future.
Yes. So you want to connect the dream part and then to communication. So there are really two different things that you would like. You are working to make them connect. This is where you are working now, from that part, from the input and the output. Let's say.
I think I only have one more thing to do, but I could be wrong. So I think it's mostly done. I think I need a component that filters the signal, and I'm done. Well, then I have to test it and make sure I'm done. But in the past, I actually did test something similar. I like remade this project, but it didn't have dream induction. And I was testing it every night. So it was a little hard because I don't get lucid every night. I get lucid, I used to get lucid every night when I was really practicing lucid dreaming. But so it would just be a lot of wasted electrodes. The nights that I didn't have lucid dreams, I couldn't do the communication. So I was like, I need to add the induction so that I'm not like just wearing this every night and wasting electrodes and wasting the test. So that's why I added the induction.
Yeah, this is really interesting how you test, because you are actually testing while you are sleeping. So
Yeah.
this is really great, because usually they say that when you sleep you think about coding, but in your case you are really testing your
Yeah.
device. So this is really really great. So yeah, so I think, and I think that it's good that you have this project and you are working. I don't know if you are working just on this one, but having a project like this, I think this occupies a lot of time for you, I think.
Yeah, well, I actually had to put this aside. Like, I work in it in kind of like clumps because I'm trying to finish another project, a startup. So I'm kind of putting that first because I want to get it out before. I said I would get it out last month, but it's not happening. But I would love to get out this month. I need to get it out before Christmas because it's like it would be best for Christmas time. So I had to put this aside. There's all these projects I want to do, and it's hard to balance making time for them with like staying focused on other things, you know. So yeah.
So you are working on these sometimes, so you say, in camps. So when you can, when you have time to focus on this, you are trying to do this last thing, you say. So this is the last thing that you need, the last.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's the last thing, and then try it.
Yeah, this is really interesting. Yeah, and so yeah, but apart of this project, uh, are you currently working on something else, or in the future are you working on other things, or do you want to, I don't know? So apart this project, are you working on other things? Do you want to
aside
do
from
something
this, you mean?
else? Yeah.
Yeah. Right now, I'm working on. I'm working on starting a software business. I mean, I don't know if you call it a software business. I'm building a platform. So that's my main focus. It's called Wish Tender. It's a wish list site that is for public figures, mainly people like, if you know Onlyfans, like, do you know Onlyfans is?
I've read something about that, but I've never used that.
Okay.
So I know something, but
yeah, it's like people who do very sexy things on camera for people. Well, not always, actually. OnlyFans is Patreon, but it allows sexual content.
This is how the users actually use that. It's not, maybe it's not meant to, I don't know if, people use
that's mainly
however
it's
you
used.
want.
But so, like those people who do that kind of stuff, and also other content creators though, but mainly those people, they will put out wish lists and their customers will buy things for them. So there's no wish list site that's like really catered to, actually there was 2 wish list sites that were catered to them. One closed down and one is very, very bad. And they complain about them all the time. I had my sister was following somebody who became a sugar baby, and that is someone who's like a young person usually who is friends with older people. They don't do sexual things, but they just are friends with them, and the person will pay them. So that's what a sugar baby is. And they also have wish lists, and so she was following this girl on TikTok who was talking about her experience as a sugar baby, and all these people who are also sugar babies were talking in the chat, and they were talking about wish lists and how bad they are. So my sister brought it up to me, and she's like, you should build this. And a lot of people, you probably have this experience, a lot of people will bring you ideas because you know how to code, and they'll be like, make this. And usually they're not so great. They're like just something that someone really likes that like no one's going to pay for. But I recognize that this was something that people really wanted and would use, and I could make money off of. And so this is what I'm pursuing right now, making this wish list that's catered to these people. And if that goes well, I can, fund more of these like Lucid Dreaming projects with the money I make and do stuff that I'm a bit more passionate about. But I do find making this startup really fun though.
Yeah, so you are kind of busy, let's say, because from this starter project, then these are the thing. So yeah, so I think you are currently working on actually two very great projects. Yeah, I don't know how it goes. Uh, I wish you the best because I think that they are both they could be really great projects, really very successful projects. I think. Yeah.
Yeah, I hope so.
Yeah.
We did market research. Well, so when I say we, the people who are working on this is me mostly. I'm coding it all myself. And then my sister and my spouse help out with things like market research, social media, but I also do those things too. So they're kind of like supporting me and helping me, but it's, I'm like coding the whole thing alone at this point. But what was different about this project than some of the other entrepreneurial projects I've done in the past was that I did a lot of market research trying to find out what people wanted. In the past, I would like just assume what people wanted, and that was often ended up not so well. So I think that's, if you have a project that you think like that it's not just a passion project for you, but you want to make lucrative, like doing just a little bit, making like a Google form and just finding people on Twitter. Like we messaged maybe 300 people on Twitter and got maybe like 30 responses. So like that's not bad. That's like 8%, I think, is the average. So of responses to these market research forms. So like just doing like little things to walking around a park and asking people, like we did stuff like that too. Just getting like a little bit of insight can really be helpful if you want to start a project.
Yeah, I think that sometimes we as developers we have this problem that we have an idea, we just start coding, we just creating a full application, the platform, and then in the end we do some marketing research. Maybe it will be better to do this before actually, because maybe we are passionate about coding, so we can't wait to create a new project, create a GitHub repository, and then just get it started. But sometimes maybe it's better. Maybe you are lucky because your spouse does this sort of things. So maybe so you know that you have to do that. Sorry.
I think the way I came to it was that I did this a bunch of times without the market research and it didn't go well. And so I have I think there's like artistic minded people and like business minded people, and I think developers are generally artistic. Like they have ideas, they're idealistic, they want to make things, but they don't think as well about what other people want as a business minded person. So I had to start to adapt the business mind if I want my ideas and my artistic side to thrive. I love coming up with ideas, but like you need the public to refine them and to tell you if they're good or bad. And the right public. So not just like saying, hey, do you think this is a good idea to whoever? Because many people will be like, no, that's dumb, and they're wrong. But asking the right people who would pay for this. So that's why we went to Onlyfans. We just searched on Twitter, Onlyfans, people who had Onlyfans in their bio. We messaged them. We said, can you take this survey? Like, does this sound, and they give feedback that's useful. Because if I go and ask whoever and they say it's dumb, it's gonna that's not good data. You need to ask where it matters.
Exactly. Yeah, you have to ask to your target people, because otherwise I think you can get the wrong answers. People that just say, oh, I don't know how this can be useful to me in that case. And another thing is that now it should be out another video that I made with the Codestack, and he says exactly what you are saying, that coders are artists. I also I think that I say this currently quite often. Yeah. So yeah, what you say, I think that makes sense, that we have this kind of mind. Not all of us, but many of us have this idea that we just want to get started. We think that making marketing research, we are just losing time. Instead, we prefer to lose time while coding. Yeah. So yeah.
Yeah.
But yeah.
Yeah.
But
and even I think I'm still a little like, I go to other entrepreneurs who are not coders, and they're like, they kind of hint at like that I'm going too slowly because I'm like building the whole thing out, and they're like, just make a prototype. So I still have that, like, I still have that desire to like put code before the business. Maybe I wouldn't actually say that's what it is, but it kind of like, it might seem like that way to other people. It's a balance of like, how much do I put into the making of this, and how much do I like just like test the idea out, because at the same time I do want to learn how to code, and I don't know how to do all these things, and part of the process is like, even if I fail at this business, I still learned how to build a whole app. That's part of my goal. And you know, if you do all this market research, like, it makes me think like that the full app is, you know, viable. So I struggle with like, do I make a prototype and slow down the actual building of building of the working app, or do I work on the app, save a little bit of time to get it like perfected a little more before it comes out, because I know what I know so far, which seems like people are gonna want to use this in its like in the, you know, it's not gonna be a waste of time to build the whole app. So I don't know, it's a balance of like that entrepreneurial mind and that maker mind, that I'm still trying to figure out.
No, thank you, because yeah, this has been really an interesting story about yeah, all this kind of stuff. So yeah, so if you have some links, please send them to me, so we'll put them in the description about this project, or even in the future maybe we can put them so we can know a little bit more about this. And yeah, so thank you, this has been really great, because I was really interested by seeing your tweets about this, especially the Dream project. Yeah, because yeah, I think you get some good feedback about that, because when people see this sort of stuff, it get interested into that, I think.
Yeah, one of my goals with the Dream Project is just to get people more aware of lucid dreaming, because I think lucid dreaming is very cool and like just underappreciated. So if I can kind of make this very visual project about lucid dreaming, people can see it and they'll be like, what's that? You know, what is lucid dreaming? How does it work? And maybe they'll get into it. Maybe they'll build this too. Maybe they'll beat me to it. Maybe they'll make the tweet before I do. Like, I was challenging some people to try to do it before me, but I don't know if anyone's going to try.
I don't know. But we'll see. Yeah, let's see, because yeah, it's kind of different. I'm also looking for, and I wanted you to be here because I really wanted to ask you about this Scorcho project by your voice and not just the tweet. So this is one of the main reasons why I was so interested into doing this conversation. Yeah, so thank you. Thank you so much
for having me.
Yeah, and yes, and yeah, I'd like to talk like 5 minutes or whatever you want about how can we find you, which socials do you use, which one is your favorite one?
I use Twitter the most, and that's at Dashiell Bark-Huss, and then I use LinkedIn as well. I can give you a link for that. I don't know it off the top of my head, but if you search my name, Dashiell Bark-Huss, I'll show up.
We'll put the link. I don't know if we are already connected on LinkedIn. I'll check after this conversation.
Okay.
I think yes, but I don't know if
because
maybe it happened like 2 years ago, so I can't remember. So
yeah,
I don't know, maybe.
And I use Instagram a little bit as well. And then I have a website that I haven't, like, I don't keep up to date too much, but I have some interesting posts on it. Oh, and then if you want to read like my daily, like what I'm up to, I do have a GitHub log that I post almost every day, but I don't push it to GitHub every day. So you'll see it like in chunks. So it's a GitHub log of everything I'm working on since January 1st, 2019, or a little bit before then, actually.
Nice. So we have, I think we'll have a lot of links in this
Yeah,
description. Yeah, then we will get them all, and we'll put exactly in the description. So thank you for explaining this to me, because I was honestly interested into this. And so I wish you luck, because
thank you so much.
I'd like you to contact me if you get something, if you finish it, because now I'm really interested after hearing by you all this thing, and that you need this last step. Maybe I hope it's the last one. So I'm looking forward that kind of message, like Francesco, it worked, like in a message. So
maybe the message will come from inside a dream.
Yeah, that would be great. To see if it's working. Yeah. So thank you for being here.
Thank you for having me so much.
Sorry for having contacted you for years, but I was not using Twitter, so sorry. It was not for you, but so thank you.
Thank you so much.
Thank you. See you next time. Bye bye. Let me stop.